Welcome, Yin Yogis, to our 20 minutes of morning yin. My name is Eleni and I will be guiding you today. Let's begin on the belly here in our first posture, which is a Sphinx pose, bringing our elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Start to lift here slightly through the crown of the head, creating space through the chest. Notice here how the sensation feels in the low back. And if we need to create a little more space and a little less back bend, you can start to walk your fingertips forward. As we start here in our back bend, which is an invigorating pose, creating energy and vitality, feel free to soften through the front body. Closing the eyes perhaps, or softening the gaze. Starting to relax the muscles of the forehead and the jaw. And noticing our breath this morning, breathing into the base of the belly and the low back, allowing your breath to rise into the rib cage and all the way up between the shoulder blades and the collarbone. Feeling your full torso breath. Bringing awareness to the heart space. If it feels natural here to set an intention or offering, feel free to do so. This can be an intention for the day or an energy that we'd like to call in for ourselves or someone or something. Feel free to stay just as you are, or you can move into a little bit of a deeper back bend here, seal pose. You'll walk the hands to the corners of the mat and then lift here. So you choose the intensity. If the palms walk closer to the body, it creates a deeper back bend. You can also walk the palms further away. If this is not comfortable for us, please come back down to Sphinx or just rest. We won't be here too long, just a couple more breaths. And then slowly coming all the way down to rest in our crocodile, stacking the hands, resting the forehead on the top of the hand. So taking rest here, noticing the rebound, noticing sensation. Maybe bending the knees here, taking a reverse windshield wiper, tick-tocking the feet right to left. From here, bringing the palms underneath the shoulders, pressing back to our child's pose. Big toes to touch, knees nice and wide, snuggling the torso between the thighs here and resting the forehead. Just a couple breaths here. Soft child's pose, creating that length through the back body. It's always important to take a counter stretch. So if you take a deep back bend, you want to take a forward fold. So we move the spine in the opposite direction, creating balance and equilibrium. We'll begin to move into our dragon series here, a series of low lunges. So let's grab our blocks if you have them. We'll take our left foot in between the hands. And this series can be done without blocks, so if we don't have them, don't worry about it. You can bring your palms to the top of the thigh. So here, that right hip is slightly draping towards the earth. You'll start to feel that nice deep stretch through the front of the right thigh. Try to make sure that left knee isn't poking too far forward beyond that left heel. We're going to do a 3-part series here. So this first one we hold for a minute. It's our high flying dragon, shoulders above the hips, gaze can be forward or soft. So these yin postures are more invigorating. Hopefully by the end of this practice, you'll feel lively and energized and ready for the day. We'll begin to make our way to our low flying dragon, bringing the palms inside the left foot. Shimmy that left foot out just a tad here so that we have our left forearm in line with the shin. It is early here, so it may not be comfortable to come all the way down onto the forearms, but if that's in your practice today and you feel safe and comfortable, feel free to lower. Otherwise, just stay lifted here. Observing our sensation through the left side body, through the left hip. And we start to come into wing dragon, pointing the left toe to the left corner of the mat and so gently opening onto the left outer edge of the foot. So the knee is going to fall out slightly. If you have really open hips, try to avoid going super deep here. Just find the edge, not too much and not too little, and play within that. You'll notice a difference of sensation here. This is becoming a hip opener at this point. Breathing into that open space. And slow release, we'll start to lift here. Walk the left foot between the hands so the knee is in line with the hip. We'll start to shift back into our half split pose, holding here for a minute. So lengthening here, toe is pointing towards the crown of the head. You'll see that I'll micro bend the knee slightly, just make sure that we don't lock or hyperextend the knee. Breathing into the back of the thigh here, coming into a hamstring stretch. Slowly release. We'll come back onto all fours. Take some barrel rolls. So just rolling the hips in a circle here, hips towards heels, moving the spine, finding some circulation for the hips. Reversing when you're ready, opposite direction. And we'll prepare for the other side. If you want to use blocks, feel free. We'll step that right foot forward here. Right knee above the ankle. Taking high, flying here. Again, you can bring the palms to the thigh if you'd like. Chest is nice and open. The joints are stacked, shoulders over hips. And we breathe. These deep lunges are not the most comfortable. So learning to be in the space of discomfort, using our breath as an anchor here, knowing that everything isn't permanent. Let's slowly release, coming into low flying. Bring the palms to the inside of the right foot, and we'll shimmy that right foot out slightly. So your right forearm is in line with the shin. Feel free to stay lifted here or start to work onto forearms if it feels appropriate for you today. And coming into wing dragon, spinning the right toe to the right corner, opening onto the outer right edge of the foot. Finding that open hip here and breathing into that space. Finding that middle road here between effort and ease. Knowing that our practice will change every day. It's an ebb and flow. Slowly begin to lift here. Shimmy the right foot between the hands. We start to shift back here into our half split. Right toe lifts. Once again, feel free to micro bend the knee. We just want to make sure that our joints stay healthy here. Some of us that are super bendy and flexible tend to hyperextend our joints, especially the knees and the elbows. So just being mindful here. Another breath. Gently release, bending that right knee. Let's come back onto all fours. Feel free to wag the tail here, coming into a side body stretch or taking those barrel rolls, full circle. And if it feels good, go ahead and lift up into a downward facing dog. Hips stay nice and high, heels working towards the earth. And releasing, we'll prepare for our toe stretch. So I just like to demo here with the blocks, and then we'll set it up. So stacking both blocks vertically here, we're gonna curl the toes under and sit back onto the block. So that way we're supported and we can sustain the pose for about 2 minutes. So here we are, we're gonna set up here. Of course, if you don't wanna use the blocks, it's totally an option to not. And you'll just sit the hips towards the heels. And we'll be moving into our eagle arms here. So coming into a stretch between the shoulder blades, go ahead and lift the arms, and we'll take that left arm and scoop it underneath the right elbow. There's options here. You can either hold the shoulders if the palms don't come together here, so just hugging your shoulders, bringing the back of the hands together, or you can bring the hands to full eagle arm. Wherever you land, start to settle in. If we have tight shoulders here, you might start to feel the tissue stretching here and opening. So notice sensation between the shoulder blades. Notice sensation in the sole of the foot. Two very intense, deep stretches here happening all at once. Let's remember to breathe deeply. Breathing into base of belly. Breathing up into rib cage and chest. And then all the way back down, fluid breath. So if you have full eagle arms, we just want to make sure we don't feel any tingling or numbness, or we can kind of back out a little bit. So here you can hold the shoulders instead and give yourself a hug if that's the case. Nice deep breaths. And slow release of the arms, shaking the arms out. Let's come onto all fours and untuck the toes, and we'll just tap the tops of the feet, so shifting the energy there. Go ahead and release one block if you'd like to, and we're going to move straight into our ankle stretch. So tops of the feet are on the earth. We'll sit back on the heels. Once again, if you don't need a block, release it, and if you need both, go ahead and sit up on both. So lift the arms here. This time the right arm hooks under the left, coming into your variation of eagle arm, whether that's palms together, back of the hands together, or palms on the shoulders. Settle in here. This may not be as intense as our toe stretch. Noticing sensation through the shoulder blades and now the tops of the feet. Feel free to move into a different variation of the arms if that feels better for you, either increasing the intensity or decreasing. We'll be here about 8 more breaths. Gentle release of the arms. We might shake the arms out, roll the shoulders here, a couple breaths. And releasing our blocks here. Let's make our way into Grasshopper Pose. So we'll use our blocks once again, coming onto all fours. Bring the forearms onto the blocks, palms come together. We'll start to curl the toes if that feels okay and shift the hips back. Forehead comes in between the blocks here. So forehead may touch the earth, it may not. And then working your thumb to the base of the neck here in our prayer hands, coming into that deep chest stretch, shoulder, upper arm. So this can also be taken without the blocks. Notice if this is too intense with the height and just release the props. Breathing deeply, noticing the texture of the breath here, trying to breathe into the back body, breathing into the upper chest, and noticing if there's tension here. Sending our breath to these spaces that we feel are expanding, where we feel the tissue is opening up here. Slowly release. We'll bring the palms to release here overhead. Can come up onto all fours, releasing our blocks, and come into a restorative child's pose. Bringing the knees a little bit closer together and wrapping the arms around the thigh here, forehead rest. And gently pressing up here, rolling the shoulders up, down, and back a couple times. Shaking it out here. And let's make our way onto our backs. Hugging the knees, giving yourself a little rock. Taking a full happy baby here, keeping the spine long. Grabbing the outer edges of the feet or the ankles or shins, finding that nice flexed foot while the knees are drawing towards the earth. And gently release when you're ready. If there's any extra movement that you'd like here. And we'll make our way into our master pose, Savasana, releasing, coming into your shape here. Maybe the heels to each corner, maybe the knees are bent. And then softening here, releasing the physical practice, letting the body rest. Rejuvenate and replenish. Staying here as long as you like to. Or you can begin to slowly allow the awareness to drift back, wiggling the toes, the fingers, the ankles or wrist. Maybe reaching the arms overhead, pointing the toes forward, giving yourself a nice squeeze here, rocking right to left. Rolling onto one side as we press up through our seated, completing our physical practice today. Arms reach up, scooping all your inner light, bringing it into the heart space. Wishing you all peace, love, joy, harmony, whatever it is that you'd like to call in today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you're enjoying this content, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'm open to requests. If you like guided meditation, please visit the sister channel I'm working with, Mindful Metta, listed in the description below. Thanks so much, everybody.